Okay, so you got your scale. Let's put it closer to the flour. Make sure it's in grams. I'm pretty sure this is, we want 500 grams of strong bread flour. So put your bowl on, zero it out. I left a spoon in there yesterday.
So 500 grams
500 grams
of bread flour.
of bread flour, which is quite a bit.
For each one?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I try to get it pretty right on. So that says 500.
Okay.
So, and then we'll repeat 4 times. Okay, so we have our 4 bowls of 500 grams of flour each. Put a bowl back on, clear it out to 0. Take your salt, and we want 9 to 10 grams of salt. I did 10 last time. So that's 11. And then repeat. Put it on, clear. I like to do 10. And we'll do that 4 times. Next, you take a fork or a spoon and you just make sure your salt is mixed into your flour. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Do I need to heat up the water?
Oh, sure, you can get the sink started to warm up. And next, we're gonna clear out our bowls. Take your starter that's been sitting, and we're gonna do 100 grams.
Well, today's gonna be 49 today, for the low tonight.
Okay, so 100 grams of starter.
Yep, it's kind of hard to take it out, so 101 is pretty good. Set it aside, repeat 4 times. Whoop. 102, 3, I might try to take some out. That's good. Okay.
Okay, so our water is at what temperature?
It's at just over 100, I think.
Okay.
Can't have it any hotter than 104 or it'll kill your starter. So it's right at 100 right now.
Okay.
We got our thing zeroed out. Put the bowl on, zero it out again. We need 375 grams.
Okay, 375 grams.
Whoa. Well, that's pretty close.
There you go.
And then you take a fork and whisk it together. But we have a spoon, so we'll just do this. And then you add it to your salt, flour mixture. And then you can repeat 4 times, or you can do them individually. I kind of like to do them individually. And we'll just start mixing with a rubber spatula until it's incorporated.
Okay, so here we are mixing the salt flour in with the starter
Water.
water. So you want it to be shaggy?
Yeah, you want everything incorporated. You don't want any dry flour. And it can be a shaggy ball. It doesn't have to be perfect. So just kind of keep working it until it's about like that. So there's no dry flour, there's no wet pools. It's just all kind of together. There's no flour down at the bottom. So that looks about right. And then we'll move on to the next one.
So after we have mixed this up, it looks lovely like that. And covered up, set the timer for half an hour. And here we go. So this is our first stretch and fold, 5 times. 1, 2, 5. And we let it set for another half hour.
Yep.
Okay, here's our bread. What's the story?
It's been 8 to 10 hours in room temp covered. They should be jiggly with some bubbles, which they all do. I find that this little bit of a crust is okay too. So next up, this is a clean counter. We'll put a little bit of flour down. And we'll knock one back. So this should come out pretty easy.
Did you find the dough scraper?
Yep. And you just want to try to get as much off as you can out of the bowl, because I don't even wash the bowl. I use the same bowl. So try to get all that into here. Okay. And then, are you still going?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit of olive oil in the bowl, paper towel, spread it around. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's it. Okay, so now for this, put a little flour on top because it looks a little wet right there. We're just gonna fold it in. We're not trying to kill any like those bubbles. We're not trying to like crush it or anything. But you just kind of want to knock it back. It's very like light and fluffy, and anything that's like sticky, you kind of add a little bit more flour to. And you just kind of roll it. And pull it. And pull it. And if you can see there's some bubbles in there still. I'm gonna pick this guy up and put it in our bowl. And then this will go covered in the fridge overnight. Repeat.
Okay, now we're getting ready to bake the bread. It's been in the refrigerator overnight.
And most of the day.
And we have our baking containers in there. One is a cloche from France, and the other one
It's a cast iron Dutch oven.
wow. And
The
so
oven is set to 450. We'll let that preheat and come up to temp and get nice and hot.
450. Okay, it's preheating. So we'll turn the fan on so we don't have gas fumes intoxicating us. Okay, so we need to have parchment paper cut just the right size for the bowls. This one's a little oily, but that's not going to matter.
Where's your lamb?
Okay, so Danielle is taking
One hot and heavy.
one hot and heavy out,
And remember that the lid is hot.
and Dan's gonna have to do that part for me because now she has put one big slice of the lamb on top of that bread.
And then usually the parchment paper is just on just one, and you just use it to guide it in there and plop. Your lid is hot, your pan is hot, so mitts.
Move, puppy.
Get this guy in here, and we'll set a timer for a half an hour.
Now this time she's gonna do it perfectly. You just watch. This woman's an artist.
Ta-da!
She did it. Now watch this.
This one's our oily one, so it's a little different. Mitts. Look out! Bean! Sir.
Now this is the French cloche. So when I've baked bread, I've had to put water in there to steam, but these trap all the steam, so it comes out with nice moist bread. Voila,
Voila!
for half an hour.
Voila! That one's a minute and a half over.
Perfect. Okay, so here we are back at the bread making station, and
It's been 30 minutes. This is the one we put in first, so we're gonna take the lid off. See how it looks. Oh. This is cool.
I don't know if that's okay.